Wake up and smell the Starbucks.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you ever listened to.
Booze, brews, and horror movie reviews, your final bros have survived.
Yes, we are here with Brian, the hottest boy on the East Coast.
Yo, what the fuck even? And we have Shane. I get away with it, Smith.
I might be the killer in this flick.
Mike, the cannibal gypsy.
You ever just sit back and think about what your life would be like if you were born blind?
And the Matt. The Matt.
Wow.
No.
That was something.
Matt, hey Matt.
Yeah, hey.
How are you today?
That would be a
Hanging in
sight
there,
to
hanging in
see.
Good.
You know what? I'm going to say something. Because you're blind.
That was nasty.
So Brian's opening quote just made me realize something.
Yes.
I think I know why I had a headache last episode.
Okay.
I didn't have my coffee today.
Does it
You're
affect you like
sans
that?
coffee.
Yeah, I'm
Are
sans
you
coffee.
like essentially addicted to caffeine?
Probably.
Because like if you can't function and you all of a sudden become a dirty racist without it,
I know it's not I get carried away, but no, if I don't have coffee,
because like if you having coffee will exit racism from your body, I'll get you one every day.
So obviously Mike's making references to last week's episode where Shane was and
really
maybe
disgusting.
maybe if I'm being too generous with this, a filthy fucking racist.
yeah, you're being very rude with
Really,
this.
really disgusting.
Very rude. It's very inaccurate.
You know what else is rude? Your racism last weekend.
That's great. But speaking of racism, last weekend, this movie would make anyone racist because it's so bad. I love Wes Craven. I love most of his things. He also may have made, and I mean this, a bottom 5 worst movie of all time.
Bottom of all time.
All time is
So I was thinking about this, right?
bold.
If you really think about this movie, for what it could have been with the director behind it and the production value and the budget it 100% got, this is such a travesty to film. It's actually an insult to show me this movie.
It is,
and I love Wes. So like
we all love Wes. I think we're all in agreement. At least me and you, and I think Mike and Matt. I don't know.
Wes is,
but I'm sure
Wes is good.
Wes is good stuff. Good people. I agree. I really have to think. There's so many bad movies, right? But like, I do understand what you're saying. It's like a huge letdown. I think that this did get a lot of advertising when it came out.
I remember
it did get a
it.
motion picture release. I did, without like getting to it, I will, because we are a very big spoiler podcast. It is a probably bottom 5 slasher all time for me, but I think it's the worst slashers in the 21st century.
yeah, like no joke. Look, we just reviewed Tarot. This is worse than Tarot.
It is worse than Tarot, yes.
And like I gave Tarot a 2. Like that's what I'm saying. I think it's like it's not Slenderman bad.
No. It's
Like Slenderman is a worse made movie, but I think in that episode I said Slenderman might be the worst.
but you gave it
box office movie I ever saw.
You gave it a 1. Dude.
I did,
Yeah.
and it deserved it.
I've given 1 in this podcast history, I realize.
See, I'm very emotional,
Which
and
one
I
was
let
that?
my emotions
Sort of on the
dictate
Oh.
my ratings. Like this movie, it can't be saved. It can't be saved. It's not the census. It's the census failed song.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I will be. I think with this one, I think there's a lot to talk about. Like,
there's so
just
much.
Like, watching this scene, the acting is just so painful.
It's crazy.
So
Very so cringe. I can't even like.
this is the one thing I'll give this movie over Tarot. Tarot was bad, but in a like, I wanted it to be over and it's whatever. This movie is so bad. There's actually too much to talk about.
Yes, agreed.
There is actually the opening 5 to 6 minutes is there. They throw so much plot and just shit at you. Me and like Mike even vouch for this. I know he picks on me all the time on the podcast, but he will agree with me. We looked at each other and just said, do you have any idea what is going on?
Yeah, because I think while they were shooting the cameras, I think Wes was like, keep the schizophrenia rolling. Let's get it.
Like, I think a half hour into the movie, we were just like, yo, what actually is the plot?
Very fair. And I think we can talk about all of that because there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
But I think we need to address the ginormous elephant in the room.
Yes.
This is one of Matt's favorite movies.
Let's not go there that far. That's a stretch.
Matthew, it's your favorite movie, isn't it?
Going into this,
It's your favorite Wes Craven movie, isn't it?
No,
Matt said, I love this movie. Like, it's my favorite.
I definitely did not. But I said I was entertained.
That's
Like, give me a kick. You just can't.
Okay.
Should we save it for his review?
Okay.
But he could talk about it because a baby hand can't actually go through a pregnant. Look, I know I've had my bad pregnancy takes on this podcast. Skinamarink. I asked if a woman was in a coma but pregnant, does the baby just stay there forever?
There's better questions that you could ask for this movie, though. Even as crazy as that is,
Yeah.
you could say, hey, can a baby be born if the mother is totally slaughtered? And I guess the answer is yes. Because that's what we get.
Yeah, like, I think if the mother dies, right, and like say the mother died in front of a doctor, the doctor would be able to like kind of quickly cut the baby out if it was like, I think within a certain amount of time. It's almost like a C-section. But like the mother was clearly dead in that bed.
She could have been
for
dead
a while. That baby would be having no oxygen.
100%.
Which I guess to the movies, I can't even say credit. They're just like, he's the miracle baby.
And also, like, how is she? You don't see, like, you just see the bed sheets covered in blood. You don't see where those stab wounds
Yeah, well, she was
were.
stabbed in the stomach.
There's no way. Like,
Wes,
Well, this hand though, that can't actually happen, right?
this is like honestly. Not only is the hand improbable, but the like timely response of the hand. It's like a touch.
Yeah.
They're like high fiving in the room.
Wes was really big into the teen horror genre.
Oh yeah, but he made good ones.
He always did it so well, though. Like his execution was always top notch. This film was not
So
there.
it just doesn't make sense.
Dude, his cameo in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is fucking hilarious.
That's what I'm saying. It like
Have you ever seen it?
yeah.
He's someone's trying to talk to him. And he's just like on his chair counting money.
It's so good. But like think of Wes at this time, right? He was just coming off two, in my opinion, very good movies. He did Red Eye, which I thought Red Eye's a really good.
Oh, that's another one.
And
Yep.
he did Cursed, which I think Cursed is underrated.
I like her. So it's with the Eisenberg, the werewolf
Eisenberg
movie.
and is it Christina
Ritchie, yeah.
It's a good movie. So like it's like I don't understand what happened here.
Do you even see what he was going for?
No, and that's my issue. Like
I definitely would love to talk about it and digest it. Now, have seen this movie 5 more times than I should have.
you've seen it 5 times.
That's correct.
Okay.
Run those down. So
Yeah.
the first watch, obviously, you're like, okay.
Well, for the first time, I know we watched it together.
We watched it. I watched it with my dad
Oof, okay.
to try to see if I could actually fully understand the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The third time I watched it with Benanti,
Okay.
and then the two I watched it with Matt, and then because I fell asleep, I had to watch it again.
That's tough, man.
Now you're gonna watch it. Now you're gonna be watching it one more time.
Yeah, terrible. It's bad.
like, all right. So you want to like jump into the spooky pit so we could just because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
and we could
from
go
the
on and on and
Yep.
on and on, and we will. So we might as well just let's,
I love that header.
let's just jump in.
Yeah. All right, My Soul to Take was released in 2010. Notorious serial killer The Ripper is back in his hometown and hunting 7 kids who have the same birthday as the date he was reportedly killed. Film was directed by Wes Craven, stars Max Thieriot, John Magaro, Sina Gray, Nick Lashaway, Paulina Olzinski, Denzel Whitaker, Frank Grillo, and Emily Mead. That's Emily Mead.
It did shock me when Frank Grillo was the detective.
He's bad
I
in
forgot.
He's bad in it too. Everyone's bad.
It's a shame too. I like Frank Grillo a lot.
Can I also phone in Michonne?
Wait,
I think Michonne's in this film.
the Walking Dead Michonne?
Holy shit,
Yes.
she is. I said to you, I was like, she looks familiar.
Wait, which?
It's fucking Michonne.
Oh, she's Miss gets stabbed in the neck and survives.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Oh my god.
That's her.
I definitely pointed that out.
She
when
does
we were
get
watching
stabbed
it.
in the neck.
And survives.
And survives.
She's
Deep gash stabbing.
Like right in the jugular.
Yeah.
Goes against the horror movie.
Goes against everything.
Yeah.
Logic.
She
Horror
is,
movie logic.
she
in
is
general.
spraying blood in the ambulance. Yeah.
fucking Michonne.
Yeah.
When did she jump on Walking Dead?
It's the same year as
Season-
that. Or,
yeah.
no, it was season 2 or 3?
She came in on season 3.
Oh, so it's a couple years after
She
this.
or like the season finale of 2, they show her, and then she's in season 3.
yeah,
This might be a slight hot take. I hated her in that show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see you stopped after the season 3, right?
Yes.
She gets really good in the show, and she's actually one of the few bright spots in the show as
Doesn't
it goes
she
on.
start like fucking Rick?
Oh, they have a kid.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, she's great. Like she gets really good in the show.
Yeah.
I love Michonne in the Walking Dead.
she does suck to start. Like
Oh, she
I
does,
do.
though. Yeah.
I watched up to season 8, and I do remember. Yeah, she was just really, really annoying.
At the beginning, 100%. But she's a character that grows. Well, same with Carol. Carol.
Well, she was the worst.
sucks.
She was the legitimate
and
worst.
she's probably the best character in the show by the end of it.
Wow.
But yeah, we're not talking about that. Let's talk about this piece of shit. Let's talk about, first of all, okay, so it's a husband and wife. They have a daughter, and the wife is pregnant, and the husband he makes children's toys, but he's also a schizophrenic murderer for some reason.
Yeah, let's not forget the fact that he's a schizophrenic murderer. Because he could just be making toys, and then the next minute he could just be staring at a bloody crime scene.
Yes. So now this is what we have to talk about, and this is where I was so fucking lost with this movie. Is he a murdering schizophrenic who is just having like an episode and that's what makes him murder, and it's because he's not medicated? Or is there actually an evil dark spirit that controls him? Because the end of the movie makes it seem like there's a spirit that passes from him to other people. Because we're gonna fuck this movie, so we're talking about the end now.
I think this is like one of those movies where like I truly want to say that it's just the schizophrenia.
But then why does the kid at the end get stabbed and he's like, "Thank you for freeing me," or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, fair. And like at one time, like maybe they're both true. I think I think he was faking it. I don't know. I think he was. I don't know. Like my sense was like it doesn't make sense for him to be the spirit. I mean, if they were going to go that route, and it could be the spirit, but we do know that the main guy does have genetic schizophrenia.
Yes, 100%.
And then I want to think that he was just doing that just to play a persona of the Ripper in his own mind, but like he does intentionally change his voice, and then kind of recedes back to the other voice.
Yes, and then like why? What is the significance of the 7 people born? Like, if there wasn't a spirit, why were 7 premature babies born that night?
It's never clear.
Yeah.
But I think you got to go off the fact that it can be and it cannot be for that. So like you did have the 7 premature babies. Could be a coincidence. Could be the fact that one of them. But the thing is, like, it's not like all 7. There's 7 premature babies, but and they're distinctly after each one of his unique personalities, but only one would be, in their theory, like good enough for his soul to go in just one of them. It wouldn't be split.
Yeah, because that's what. So it's the idea that the 7 premature babies are his 7 personalities in now human form.
Correct.
But why?
Makes no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's just writing to write. Like it doesn't. There is no like. Doesn't come full circle. Like I do kind of like this idea of a killer dying and then getting like passed down to like an alternate version. Like, but like or like 7 personalities, like but each having a part of him. Like none of that comes full circle. None of it is concrete.
Yeah.
None of it is definitive. There's like concepts here that could be good, but he just completely abandons and just like free for all.
And the issue I have is if the idea of this movie is supposed to be that this killer is dead, 7 premature babies. Each of the 7 have one of his personalities. Okay, so one of them is going to be the killer, right? He kills all of them in the first, like, you're like, this is the 7, and they die rapidly.
So that's my whole point too. They keep saying he needs to come back and kill. Why? There's no point for him to kill other than enjoying killing.
Yeah.
Why does he have to come back if he survived and kill, or if someone's taking his soul on? Kill. Like, why does he have to kill each of the 7? Never explained. Why does he have to kill the surviving members of his family? Not explained. Like, none of it's so like, oh, but it's for this purpose.
Yeah.
Then he needs to kill his son, or he needs to kill the remainder of the 7. You are given none of that.
No, it's all nonsense.
Yeah. So I think once you accept the fact that it's a free for all, you just get what the movie gives you. But you can't, like, I really went down the same rabbit hole as you to deep dive that ending, and it's just like, it's either that the son is definitely the genetic inheritance.
Yes.
But it's either, is this guy Alex the inheritor of the spirit, or he's a phony? Because he's got that alternate voice, maybe we can say that he did inherit the spirit, and then the son was able to kill Alex, but it's not concrete.
It does. Yeah, it makes no sense.
But then you could say, like, is he schizophrenic, the main guy in the beginning where you hear him? Because he also has multiple, he's got the 7 personalities, right? So it starts, he's got multiple personalities. He's talking to himself in different people's tones.
Bro, there was a point in time while watching this movie, I thought the main kid was going to end up I thought his friend Dunkelman wasn't real for a second.
Yes.
I thought that was an imaginary person in his mind.
I thought they were all going to be imaginary
Yes.
people, like all the 7. I was like, maybe they're getting killed off because they're not real.
It was like an identity, the movie identity.
Exactly.
Thing.
Like, maybe they're not fucking real, but we know that's not true.
Right, because every adult references the murders and the police are actively investigating the murders. So unless you did a whole thing where the whole movie wasn't real, you can't do that. And yes, that is 100% Michonne now that I'm looking at the screen. But yeah, this movie fucking blows. So what was also stupid is, all right, so the beginning of the movie, the killer kills his wife. He's going to kill his daughter, but the cops break in. They shoot him down. His fucking doctor comes in. And he's like, he doesn't know what he's doing. You can't kill him. Like, what is this guy fucking like? Yeah. He's anti-Loomis? The guy, Loomis would have shot the guy.
The guy's he just murdered his pregnant wife.
Yes.
And he's like, listen, he's a human being. No, he needs, like, there's other humans in this room that we needs to protect.
Yeah, right. Like, fucking double tap. He can't just kill his wife. He's a known serial killer.
He's killed. He's been killing. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, and then it's ironically enough, he shoots the doctor in the head. He takes the gun out of Frank when Frank Grillo shows him mercy, which I don't think a cop actually would ever do that. It's completely breaking protocol. Shoots Frank Grillo twice I think he's wearing a vest.
Yeah,
he is.
And then shoots the doctor in the head before Frank Grillo shoots him. And
thank God Frank Grillo went on to like do better movies.
Yeah,
because like. Fucking hell with this one. But yeah, so then this is another. I actually complained about this too.
Dude, like, was this guy a fucking drummer? The way he's swinging the fucking EpiPen? Like, what the fuck was that?
Also, why is he not dead? He's been shot like 18 times.
No, evil does not die tonight.
No. So they bring him in the ambulance. He fucking stabs the girl in the jugular. The ambulance flips. It explodes. Why the fuck does the town leave the ambulance in the woods for 17 years?
Tourist attraction. Until they finally no longer wanted to be a tourist attraction. They make their own rules.
Why are they giving the EpiPen to the murderer? Why are they administering that to begin with?
I think I think it's protocol to try to keep him. Isn't it like if he's like you try to keep him alive if you can?
Okay, so
this is not protocol.
Yeah, but
what the fuck is
like
this?
4 or 5
yes,
times.
the police. But I will say, if an EMT is on scene, regardless of what is happening, the EMT's job is to keep you alive.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Don't even get started with the special effects. Jeez, they're awful.
yeah. Like I like even legally, I don't think EMTs can just not let you live because of what they are like. They have to save you if they
but
can.
they could check a pulse if you're dead. You're dead.
But he wasn't dead, I guess. So they like give him the EpiPen to keep him alive.
Evil doesn't die tonight.
No, it flips it.
Bro, you know who that is?
Oh, which one? Oh, for Breaking Bad.
Gretchen. Yeah.
Yeah, she's also. I know she's in Friends, but she's also in Breaking Bad. Yeah.
This is just all right.
That was a pretty
Anyway,
huge role in that show.
for sure.
The ambulance flips. His body is never found because they see the gurney, but he's not there.
He's missing. Yeah.
They'll leave all that in the woods forever just so he could live there or something. And then we cut to, I think it's 15, 16 years later, and we see our new main character. It's the boy, what's his name?
Bug.
His
real name, I think, is, I want to say it's Adam,
yeah.
but he goes by Bug.
And it was so obvious the entire movie that he was the son of the killer.
Yeah.
It was like beyond painfully obvious.
No dad figure, starts getting the schizophrenia just like you saw in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like couldn't be more. And then there's a point, I think at the 45 to 50 minute mark where they just mention like dad's not like, I think it's when you first get introduced, because out of nowhere you just find out that the big bully is his sister. Is his half sister or sister?
Yeah, sister. It's his sister. It's his sister.
Well, it is his biological sister.
Yeah, because they had the same mom and dad. Yeah,
I just didn't know if that's how they were positioned it because they lied to him technically.
Yeah. But like it was so stupid because she holds a grudge that he ruined her life, which makes no sense because he was a goddamn fetus. Like blame your fucking dad. What did he like? She's like, I hate you because you were born.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's stupid. She hates him because she saw the trauma as a young girl and he didn't, but he almost died and he had nothing to do with anything. Yeah. He was in a fetus and was just born. He's a miracle child by medical science standards. Yeah. However, he's fucking bullied and you're the bully.
Right. And you're not making him, like, if you want him to just be normal and not weird, maybe don't fucking bully him.
Also, another thing is, did they ever confirm if he was in mental institutions or anything like that? Because she was like making up lies about him that he was a killer.
No, apparently he was in a mental hospital and he just doesn't remember it.
Yeah, because they brought that up, and she also spread a rumor that he was a murderer.
Yeah, I think she thinks he murdered her mom. I think that's what that meant.
The references,
but it's not like clear and it's stupid. So of course now going back, the town has its whole people were murdered here, so we have a party every year on the anniversary. That has actually been done in more horror movies than I like to count, where the town kids are like, that's like if us every year we're like, oh, that kid died on that car crash, let's have a party.
Yeah,
like that's fucking insane.
The fact that they do like some like remembrance of like it's like Ripper Day, so now we gotta like almost like do this ceremony.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of people do like these harvest things, like cultures will like do something to like prevent or to get rainwater or whatever. But like to like either celebrate a killer like is never great.
No,
I'm not saying they're gonna celebrate, but they do a ceremony for it, and it's weird.
No, because like when a tragedy happens in a hometown, it's okay for on the anniversary to like
have a memorial,
acknowledge and remember.
Yeah, I'm not saying like you don't have a fucking like
they're having a bonfire for
that's
the
what I'm
guy.
saying. That's insane,
dude. And
the religious chick.
Don't even get me started on Penelope. The characters in this movie, she's laughable, dude. She's laughable. She's like, I get it. Like I understand it. I get where they're going. It actually is really funny. But like, who the fuck? This guy too. Who the fuck made these characters?
The blind guy.
And like this guy, the football player.
I actually want to understand how the blind guy got to the house at the end of the movie and started climbing up the wall of like the house because he is blind, right? Like I'm not.
Wait, which guy's blind?
The The black guy.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, is it?
He's blind.
Is his name?
Jerome.
Jerome is blind, right?
Yes,
like
he
me and
is.
Mike didn't just make that
No,
up.
he definitely
pretty
is.
sure.
I'm glad we didn't both have the same.
No,
fever
I might have just not caught that. In the 5 times I've seen this movie, because he really doesn't serve much of a purpose other than at the end of the movie, you think he's the killer, but he just dies in a closet.
Right, because he's blind. It's insane.
But that end scene with him was honestly atrocious. Like, everything's atrocious. Like, it's all just bad.
Yeah. Well, just like this. So, like, right here, right? We have the bonfire. We established the 7. Whatever. As soon as this scene ends, one of the 7. First of all, what is with us watching movies with people on fucking bridges with no cars? Why is that an ongoing theme?
Fair. This movie does give us some parents, which is a surprise.
Yes,
Not
yes.
all, but some. I think for this podcast, we should really invest in wearing Final
Leatherman
Podcast
jackets?
Letterman jackets. Final podcast Letterman jackets.
I wonder how much those would cost to get made.
Probably $100 a
probably.
pop, probably more.
I'm gonna go. I would spend $100.
Yeah,
for
I
one.
want to do some research, see if we can maybe get that as our initial merch. We just show up.
We get a new logo and then throw that on there.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I'm actually in for
tune
that.
in for the Letterman jackets on the final pod. That's coming to a town near you.
That would be so sick, actually. But yeah, I just want to talk about the guy dying, and then you could go on your Penelope rant.
No, it's over. She's just one of the most unrealistic, like unbelievable characters I've seen.
Is it because she's like, I would help you, but I have to go pray?
She's cringe. Like she said, what did she say? The thing that I actually like I almost had to walk out of the room. Where she was basically, I forgot what she fucking said. It's so bad though. It's something to do with, it was a pun off the word prayer.
Oh shit! Oh my god! She says it in like the gym, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I'll find the quote. You can go, and I will hop in once I find it. She said it in the gym, correct?
Yes, it was something like that. All right, so the cops come, they break up the bonfire. The one kid now of the 7, he's on the bridge. No one there, as all bridges are in movies. No one has ever crossed a bridge in their life, and he just gets fucking stabbed by the killer and thrown off the bridge. And in my head, I'm like, okay, so this is a slasher and someone's the killer and we're going to try to figure it out. But now I'm thinking like everyone else is together, right? Like at this point,
Yeah.
like, I actually don't kind of understand how that killing even happened.
I just wanted to start also by saying you see the Ripper like kind of like trudge towards him for quite a while.
and he doesn't do anything.
It did not look like a demonic presence at all. It looked like a dude in a Halloween costume.
Which is, I
running out.
guess, ultimately what it's supposed to be, since
Sure.
the killer's fucking Dunkelman.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, for sure. Also,
the quote.
if things get too hot, just turn on the prayer conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking lit, though. That's a great line.
I'm surprised that wasn't your opening quote.
I know. I was thinking about it. I literally walked out of the room. Like I was like, dude, it's so cringe.
The prayer conditioning.
That's what I'm saying. It's cringe, but
It's-
there's some funny moments.
That's
Okay,
pretty-
yes.
Pray for our souls, Bug. He's coming. Like everything is just so like forced down your throat. Like, lady, we do it. We get it. Like,
Lady, you're scaring us.
you really are fucking scaring us.
What is the kid's name who dies on the bridge?
I think that's Jay.
Jay. This is the thing. None of the characters have character.
No, they don't.
Because even like, so then there's the blonde chick.
Fear ye the Ripper.
The blonde chick and her boyfriend, who
Oh, that would be Brittany
Brittany
and the football player.
Yeah.
Right? Is it Brendan?
Brandon.
Brittany and Brandon. And Brandon's like, yo, you know what's cool? Like getting your dick sucked in the woods. And she's like, yeah, just come meet me down here. And then she like runs from him and he's like,
Well, she has no intentions of something.
but yeah, but then he's like on a, like, what is he, like on a rape chase? Like what
No,
is he?
he's on the hard. He wants oral because they do this thing where like, so it's a weird system of bullying where like you find out that the big bad bully is actually not Brandon. It's this chick named Fang, who you later find out is his sister, but that's not here. It's not here.
It is here.
It happens like at the 50-minute mark. I found out conveniently because they'll never mention it before that, and you're just like, wait, what the fuck? So his sister's just indirectly bullying him. But they do this thing where they assign numeric values to punitive punishment.
Yeah.
So she's like, hey, you're going to bully him, so give Dunkelman an 8 and give Bug a 3. So she funnels that down to Brittany to funnel that down to fucking Brandon. So Brandon gives them a level 3 punch and a level 8 punch.
Yeah, it's...
Just hearing you say that out loud is...
The worst part about it
crazy.
is when it comes full circle at the end and sister and brother are in the house and Bug's like, I'm going to go give him a 10. She goes, make it a 20. And I'm like, I want to fucking die.
Makes me want to turn on the prayer conditioner.
So, yeah, I mean, in school, they're bullied. They're trying to spy on Brittany to, like, hear if she, like, likes
There's
someone.
that whole bathroom scene that completely makes you feel like you've been taken out of this movie and planted into a different one.
He hides in the bathroom. He dips his phone in her pocketbook to try to eavesdrop on his sister in the bathroom. Now I'm realizing, because it's Fang talking to Brittany. And like
he's trying to find out like if
Brittany likes him.
The girl likes him.
Yeah, which she kind of does, I think.
No, she definitely does.
Yeah.
She does not like Brandon, but every time she kind of mentions like, oh, but other girls think Bug's cute, Fang is just like, no, but like Brendan is for you. I thought they were brother and sister this whole time.
Yeah.
And then like they throw this weird curveball, but yeah, like you're right. He's technically spying on his sister and her friends.
Yeah.
You're also right about Brandon being on like a rape trip.
Yeah.
He threatens her before like the woods, like they go into the woods. He's like, you don't want to see my bad side or something.
Yeah, because like what? So she didn't give him the oral. So what was he gonna do? Pin her fucking down when he caught her
he
and
basically threatens.
and
Like,
give
hey,
him
yeah.
and force the oral on himself.
He
Like,
was definitely on a kick for sure.
like it was
big time kick.
insane. Let's also talk about the fucking insane vulture costume.
We could talk about that. That happens before Brittany and them all die because they all die in that one scene.
Oh yeah, I want to just like
yeah.
So like they have to give a presentation on the California condor, and it's just Dunkelman and Bug.
It's their subject,
and they throw up on and poop on Brandon, and then the principal is like, you know, he brings the mom in and he's like, your son should probably be. I'm gonna put him into an asylum or something. And I was like, I don't know if a principal has the authority to just lock your child up.
I don't think that was real vomit and shit.
It definitely wasn't.
No, I think they were just because they were talking about like a condor. It's sort of like a vault, like the defense mechanism and like everything like that. Because he's obsessed with birds. If you look at his room, he's got birds everywhere.
Which is that's fine. Like people love birds.
I also do not believe at all that comes full circle in any really redeeming way because when Dunkelman is known as the killer, and to your point, he does kill him, and then he does mention like in a generous way, he's like, Alex, I know you're flying like a condor. Yeah. So that probably more or less supports the fact that he killed his father's soul.
Yeah.
And his friend's like roaming free. But that's the only way that comes full circle. It's never really touched again.
I also like the principal's like, yeah, your son's into birds. He should be locked up. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, what are they going to lock up Brian's wife next?
Jesus.
And that scene was like fucking ridiculous.
Right?
That was like the most frustrating scene because he kept saying how it's his right that he can send this person for like mental care. I don't know how or that's
I don't think
true.
A principal of a school has the right to I think he could recommend it.
100%. There's no way. And also he's like, listen, I've been the principal for the last 6 months, so like I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Right. And like, to be fair, yeah, Bug did that in the classroom. Maybe I do think like maybe that deserves a suspension just because there was like fucking liquids everywhere, but like he doesn't need to go to a mental hospital for that. That's crazy.
That's even if he was mentally ill, like that's crazy. Just to suggest based on that. Plus, he's been in there for 6 months. Plus, which is like barely any time to know anybody.
Exactly.
I would also say that the mother had a great counterpoint, saying not only has he had but she actually said that he had no mental history.
Yeah.
So maybe he never.
Maybe he never did.
Yeah.
Maybe the sister probably did just make it up.
So she said not only did he never have anything, you have people that are legitimately beating the shit out of him every day, and you're doing nothing about that.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we're not talking about them. We're talking about your son. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, my son who hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
His defense could just be like, oh, I'm getting back at the school bully.
100%. Also, it could have just been an asshole kid doing a prank. That doesn't mean you have to go to a fucking psych ward. Right?
Yeah,
like, kids do... I always hate that. Like, kids do stupid shit. It's not like he hurt anyone.
No.
You're right. The principal has less than zero authority to actually send him to a mental hospital. Yeah. No chance.
So literally from that scene, you're like, all right, well, someone's the murderer and we're going to get rid of 3 suspects right away.
Oh, legitimately, yes.
Because Penelope is going to get her throat slit in the
pool, right?
In the pool.
So she's with the random girl that was knocked up by the football player trying to do some prayer conditioning.
Another subplot that goes literally nowhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely nowhere. Other than he apologizes for it right before he's about to die or something. In any case, yep. Oh, she's so cringe.
She was my favorite character.
Really?
I hate this movie, so I just thought she was the one part that made me laugh. So she was this.
Right, I thought he was watching Birdemic at this part.
Yeah.
And Shane told me
it's
it
the
wasn't.
actual birds.
I feel like he takes a page out of like fucking Stephen King's book with this movie.
He does.
With the
bully
person.
The fucking dude. Even the fucking Victor or whatever. He's like fucking 10, and he punches him and like, dude. But like he hits his stepson so hard, he leaves a fucking.
Did you see that welt?
Dude, that is an open and shut case if you go to the police. I don't care how incompetent the police department is.
Yeah, I mean, you do find out that he off-screen kills him.
Yeah.
That was a good hit, though. It's a nice sock.
Little did you know Dewey's in charge of the police department.
Dewey would have took care of this.
That shot literally turns his side like fucking 14 different colors. Yeah. Not even joking. It's like literally destroys his side.
Brandon's lifting like 4 pounds.
So yeah, so like the vibe is like she does not like him at all. No. Like it's very clear that like it's being forced by their little like hierarchy, which really in reality is Brandon and like these fucking 4 or 5 girls that run this clique.
Yeah, Fang, she runs the school.
It's insane.
So yeah, Penelope gets her throat slit. Her body gets dumped in the Oral Woods. I'm gonna call it the Oral Woods moving forward. Brandon chases Brittany into the Oral Woods. Brittany then gets killed. And then Brandon sees that. And then Brandon gets killed, right? It goes Penelope, Brittany, Brandon in order? Or is it Penelope, Brandon, Brittany?
No, I think it is. I think
it is Brandon first, right?
I think it's Brandon first and then Brittany.
Yeah.
Because Brittany gets squeezed. She gets squeezed and like very fake blood pops
out. So
out.
Brandon does die first because then the squeeze is last.
Mind you, the phone from Bug is still in her bag,
right?
When it's discovered.
And to be fair, that's not like a guarantee. Like he did it, but that is hard evidence for a police officer to investigate.
It is evidence, like
because you can't just because his phone's there, you can't if you don't have him like a weapon or anything. You can't. The phone's not like
it's
proof enough.
Yeah,
but it is evidence.
It's not conclusive, but it
is evidence that it could be him. But yeah, so anyway, like a bunch of nonsense kind of happens from this point on. Like none of it actually like matters. You're just like because it's just Bug having schizophrenic moments where the movie at that point the movie is just like okay, it's Bug.
It gets really like they hone in because he starts doing what his dad was doing like out of nowhere.
Yep.
Like he just starts
unprovoked
talking like the other 7 person. Like,
so the idea, if I were to go into the mind of Wes Craven, is that every time one of the 7 dies, they go into Bug. So that's why I think the movie's My Soul to Take is because the souls of the people are entering Bug. So he's absorbing all of the personalities back. That's how I took it.
Maybe because like maybe like he is like the host, like maybe the schizophrenia is like some kind of like weird like host gift that he can like absorb it.
And yeah, because not to cut you off because I'm going off of the end where he's like, oh, I just asked Brittany, she told me you did it, or something like that. So he like has a fucking hotline to the dead people because he consults all of them at the end, and they're the ones that are like essentially telling him. Because when he's questioned Dunkelman and he's like, oh, it was Jerome. And he's like, well, Brandon told me you lied about that or some shit like that.
You're right. Yeah, so he's like talking to the other
spirits,
dead spirits. But like, that's so weird though, because like that's never even remotely explained. Like it's just like 7 personalities. And it was the soul of we never knew it was the souls of all these people. Although like he's like being able to communicate as them.
Yeah. Like Identity had this same idea and did it a bajillion times better.
Like I'm saying, like like this movie, it has ideas. They're just not. They're executed in like the worst human way possible.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you, but like I can never like fully commit to the idea because
100%.
like, it's like so unclear. But in any case, he's got these 7 personalities. And like I guess here's my other thing, like. Why does he, if his dad is schizophrenic, I guess you're right, it has to be the soul thing too, because like, why would he automatically, with his schizophrenia, be able to use those personalities?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And then he does this thing where he completely mirrors him out of nowhere.
Yeah, okay. So this
scene is
this scene is only here to make you think that Dunkelman isn't real.
I see what you're saying.
Because at this point, I'm like, is Dunkelman just in his mind?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But then I was also like, but the mom talks about Dunkelman.
As like a schizophrenic?
Yeah, I was like, maybe the kid is just schizophrenic and the whole point is he's his dad's son. He's going to be a murderer. That's the thing is like, and then as the movie goes on and it's revealed that Fang is his sister, I thought Fang was the killer.
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay. This could work if Fang is just so upset that her family was torn apart because of this, that she wants to kill the 7 babies born that day. I'm like, okay, this movie sucks ass, but that makes sense. Instead, it's just Dunkelman for some reason. And that's why I think it was the dark spirit went into him.
Yeah, I do it now like the more that I'm really thinking on the ending and like walking through it and the way he approaches the bird conversation, I do believe that the 7 are premature because those are going to host the 7 personalities that were provided by the main guy, right? And that's what these 7 people are. And then that's why when it's inherited to his son, he's able to also utilize those 7 personalities because those were also given by his father.
Exactly.
With that being said, I do believe that while he's his father, right? Like he's got the genetics of his father, the soul must have went into Dunkelman.
The evil spirit, yes. Because technically... I actually don't know why.
And that would make sense for like the change of the voice at the end because he does go in and out of that voice, and then the bird conversation. It has to be that, but it doesn't make it any better. It's still
it doesn't.
Trash.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
I actually, like I said, I think it's better if Fang would have been the killer, and she was just jealous that not jealous, she's just upset that these are the people that like broke up her family because her dad I don't know. It's just. Why did she survive?
Dude, look at the gash. Like, does she even serve a purpose to survive in this movie?
No.
I don't think so, right?
Also, I love how he has a clear stab wound when they're investigating Jay's body. And they're just like, it could have been anything. Like, there's literally the knife is like still in his stomach.
He goes, any knife wounds? He's like, you want to fucking take a look at this?
I guess let's just talk about like kind of like the whole... Not like it's not the end, but like what leads into the end, because basically after everyone is dead and everything's a mess, Bug is gonna come home and his mom is giving him a birthday cake.
Yes,
and Fang gives him a fucking this. First of all, they don't even say Fang is his sister yet. Fang just appears in the house.
She's there,
and then you just have to put fucking 1 and 2 together and be like, oh. They're brother and sister.
Yep.
And then she gives him a gift. And then she gives him the fucking rocking horse that her dad was working on, which 2 things. 1, I actually audibly out loud said cunt while watching this movie. And 2, why does she even still have that?
Great question.
Isn't that just hard soil evidence? Like, wouldn't the police have had that?
Correct. I agree. I don't know why she has access to that. Yeah. This girl is just not... I understand they're both blood brother and sister from her sister, who's the person who died. You find that out that like through these conversations now he has with Fang, that the mother they currently have is their aunt.
Yes, is their aunt.
And that their mother was the one that died in the bed, was pregnant with him, while she was the girl that watched everything happen. And yeah, so that's basically the relationship that they have. He's like this quote unquote miracle baby because he should have died. In any case, yeah, that's how that plays out. And she beats the ever living shit out of him.
She does kick the shit out of him.
Basically, because he is the miracle boy.
So, like, I want to see if you, all of you, even you, Matt, I want opinions. Did you feel terrible for the aunt when Fang was like running her down? Because like she's like, you lie, you don't tell anyone the truth. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, the aunt did the best thing possible for these kids. She took them in.
Yeah.
She raised them in a good home. She sheltered him from the knowledge that his dad was a serial killer. Honestly, that's not a bad thing.
No, the aunt did a really nice thing. I know it's a really tough position to be in.
100%.
She just tried to do best by the kid and by her sister. No, I think she didn't do anything wrong. I think maybe she should have disciplined the daughter more in some ways. But other than that, like, I don't think so.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think there was literally nothing else better to do in that situation.
Okay.
Why would you come out and say to other people in the neighborhood that that's the son of a serial killer? That means no one would want to associate with the kid and or would potentially bully him more.
Exactly. And that's why like when like Fang was doing all this, I'm like, yo, Fang sucks. Like why is she
she's
like,
trash. Yeah.
Like but I was like, I hope the movie's not doing something where I'm supposed to feel something for Fang in this moment, because like I felt nothing but like I hope you die.
I think they never even gave her like a true redeeming arc either.
No.
Like they had that one conversation, like I said, in the closet, and then other than that, it was just like
Also, the other thing would be if she had told the truth about the brother, that means that technically the truth would be exposed by Fang. Right. So therefore, Fang wouldn't even be in that supposed power position.
So Fang does one thing, is she does say at the end of the movie to the police that like Dunkelman did all of it. Her brother was a hero who saved her. So she does make her brother out like.
That's why they do the clapping at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, which if I'm gonna give this movie one prop, I do like that since Bug wasn't the killer, he wasn't
framed.
Yes.
Oh, I agree.
Because I actually think that would have made this movie even more frustrating.
For sure.
Because Bug, to be fair, despite all the writing flaws his character had, there was nothing unlikable about him. Like he wasn't like
bad for him.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's not someone you want. Like he wasn't the main character you want to root against. Like I was generally hoping like things worked out for him. So I guess that'll bump this movie to a 1. But
whoa.
Yeah, other than that.
So this is a really weird scene. It's going to be kind of like right before the ending where like everything kind of happens quick. So he has a conversation with Dunkelman in his room because they go in and out of the room because he's got like an open window. And like they have this conversation of like, well, now that everybody's dead, the killer from the 7, the Riverfront 7 or whatever they call it, is either me, meaning Bug, you Dunkelman, or Jerome,
who was blind.
Could be one of us.
Why did they leave the blind guy as the final suspect with them?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you kill the blind guy first and then leave Jay? Or Brandon or someone that like, because dude, if the killer was the blind guy at the end, that would have made less sense.
Yeah. So completely unrealistic, like, but he like shows Dunkelman the largest kitchen knife he has in his kitchen, in the kitchen. And like it's so out of character unless it's a split personality, like maybe one of the more violent ones, that he is toiling with. To saying like, hey, do you have the capability of killing Dunkelman? And Dunkelman, obviously, in Dunkelman's personality, is like kind of like no, by something on the ground, and he's like, all right, well, like me neither, like neither is Jerome, so but it's got to be like one of us, right? Unless the theory is it's not the soul theory, and it's that the father never died,
which would have been even.
It's like option 1 or option 2. Option 1, father never died. Option 2, it's one of the three of us, and one of us is blind.
It would have been kind of funny if he was faking being blind the whole movie, and he was the killer.
Rude, but yeah, right? Like sick. But yeah, but that scene, literally right after that emotional scene, and by emotional, I like Dunkelman cried and I couldn't give a shit. Bug goes to the room. Penelope, who is dead, and obviously like one of those personalities, there's a knife in there.
Yeah,
a bloody knife. Right. We do find out later that the at this time, his aunt has been killed.
Yes,
and that's
why the knife is there.
But it's like almost like the knife is there just like it was for his father. So he's taking the knife now, thinking that like
he's the killer.
He's the killer.
Yeah.
And then he goes downstairs, sees his aunt dead, and then Frank Grillo just pops in. He's like, "Yo, you got a knife."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm gonna need you to drop the knife," and he's like, "I didn't do it. I swear." It's like, "We got to find my sister."
It's funny because he actually says Ripper, and he's like, like, why would it be him?
Ripper?
And then he's like, no, fucking Patterson. Drop it. Drop the knife.
Frank Grillo just gets stabbed and killed Frank Grillo was so fucking useless in this movie.
He was bad. Like,
he was a terrible police officer.
He's easily the best. Him in of itself is the best part of the Purge series.
Yes.
Like that second movie is the best Purge movie.
Because of him.
Because of him. Yeah.
And this is just so dumb. So he gets killed. But then now you know Bug is not the murderer.
Yes.
Because now Bug is actively being attacked. And
Correct.
then he gets saved here by his sister because she comes into the house.
Correct. Yep.
And then the killer runs upstairs.
And this is where they have that conversation, and he just goes to kind of chase the killer.
Yes. And then he'll find that Jerome is bleeding out in his closet.
He comes out of the closet with a ginormous stab wound. They have a conversation for like a minute, and then he falls and dies. I'm just like, what the fuck just happened?
That's what I'm saying. Like, the 7 were so useless. They all just die rapidly for no reason.
Look, if he's got that big of a... Like, how's he even able to have this conversation? Like,
I don't know, man.
The way that this is done is just, like, so, like, uncharacteristic. I think, like, he might have just mailed this one in.
Right?
Like, I just feel like he did not do his due diligence with this.
And Mike was like, maybe he didn't write it. He just directed it. He wrote this movie. Like, he wrote and directed this. Oh. But, anyway, Dunkelman comes in. Dunkelman's the killer. They talk.
Slow mo.
It's all bad.
Dunkelman does the talking in two different voices. Bug is going to stab him with that kitchen knife. He's like, you freed me. Thank you.
Yeah, when he goes back to Alex's voice, the Dunkelman voice.
And the bird goes up in the sky.
Dude, exactly. Like, so that's, I do now, like, really do believe that probably is the case. I think it's not totally clear, but I think that it makes the most sense. In any case, like, those scenes he has with Dunkelman, it's basically the same scene almost like twice, except now he's in like Ripper. Like, he was, you just saw him coming up as the Ripper. Like, it's just so fucking climactic. Like, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. He kills Dunkelman, and then it just cuts to them outside with the ambulance, and they're like, your sister told us you saved everyone. You're a goddamn hero, son, and I'm proud to be an American. And then the movie ends. And I'm like, that's it?
Yeah. Do you think, my last point, do you think that he... when he had that weird scene, you remember, like, you thought it was the same person?
Yes.
Maybe it was the Dunkelman personality that he had. That's what you're saying.
Maybe.
This is your way of saying, like he's able to completely mirror him because he also has, like,
his
the
soul.
schizophrenia of one of the 7.
Yeah. That's what the movie is, my soul to take, and I guess it's because the souls of each of them are all kind of one soul completely.
Conceptually, it makes no sense.
Yes.
The way they explain it is nonsensical.
Yeah.
There's no practicality, and there's really no, like, we're not as the audience are coached on how this system works in the slightest.
Yeah.
Like, it's like really just watching a mess unfold.
Yeah. I actually want to go back and watch the trailer of this movie because I want to see how this movie was advertised.
We're passionate about this movie because we're trying to figure it out, but it's like just all types of bad. And that's just like the story. Mike pointed out just the scene before of the Ripper. everything about it is
Dude,
bad. This is a truly unredeemable movie.
Horrible, dude.
The slow-mo, you
fucking so bad. Who the fuck made that decision to do it like that?
I don't know, man. Like, this is probably the most passionate we've gotten about talking.
Oh, your fucking octave, dude, went like from here, especially to where you were last.
I was dying last
when
episode. To be fair,
when you were dying and racist and dying, your octave, dude, you fucking were basically yelling this whole time.
I am very passionate about this movie, and on a good way.
No, it's bad. It's bad. I do think my rating is probably a little higher than it should be.
Oof.
But it's bad.
Okay. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. If it's, I haven't made it abundantly clear. This is a stone cold, and not the good stone cold. Like if you get a tea and you forget you made the tea and you left it out, and then you go back to the tea, it's stone cold. And this is a stone cold one.
What about Cold Stone?
No, Cold Stone is a decent ice cream spot.
It's a good place.
So that I can't call this a Cold Stone one. It's a Stone Cold one. It's a fucking igloo one. However the fuck penguins. It's a 1.
Okay.
I hate this movie.
Wow, a 1. That's crazy.
I think take away the super low budget movies. Take away like your Haunted Boats and all those, like I normally say. And I said that with Tarot, they made it a 2. This for a big director, notable cast,
One of the bigger ones.
budget, theaters, fucking advertising. This is one of the worst movies to ever release in theaters.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, and you're actually gonna probably sell me to drop my rating more because like it's just not.
Yeah, I'm
It's
rated.
got nothing.
I think in our podcast history, in terms of like take away like the fucked up February movies because they're a whole other thing. Like I'm talking like okay, this was advertised for actual people to watch, not fuck like sickos like us.
Yeah.
When we watch like fucking Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. This is just a step above Slenderman, which I think Slenderman's the worst theatrical movie I've ever seen. This is like 2.
So we've established that a 1 is the movie shot, edited, put out there.
That's what this is.
It's a movie.
That's what this is.
So it's a 1 just because it's a movie that you could watch.
Yes, that's what this is.
So leaving a movie at a 1 means it has 0 redeeming qualities to bring it above a 1.
There's nothing redeemable about this movie. I got a chuckle out of the prayer girl, but that's like that wasn't enough for me. Like it's
no, dude.
I hate this movie.
Okay, so I reserve my 1s for the true filth.
Yeah, that we watch.
So because this is not that, I'm gonna go a 2, and like it just crosses the 2 line.
Okay.
Instead of going through the things that are bad about it, I usually,
You should go about what made it a 2 for you.
The only it's slightly better than the pure filth. Yeah, it's slightly above just pure filth. Yeah, this kid's definitely blind. No question about it. Yeah, it's kind of jarring to think that this is Wes's second to last movie.
Yeah.
And the last one he does, and we've talked about Scream 4.
is a banger.
Is a banger.
Scream 4 is funny. It's ahead of its time.
Yep.
Like with the whole live streaming aspect of it. And it's genuinely a really, really good slasher movie.
Yep.
He must have been so ashamed of this piece of shit that he just came back with a heater. But yeah, this movie it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it a 1. It's slightly, but it's the lightest of 2s.
Yeah. So here, this just before we go into Brian's review, just so like he did Scream 3 in 2000. He then would go on to take 5 years off to then in 2005 do back-to-back movies, both in 2005. He did Cursed and Red Eye, both very good movies. Would then take another 5 years off
to do this.
And I think he knew he couldn't go out on this. And then a year later did Scream 4 and then never directed again. He retired on Scream 4.
Wow. Scream 4 is a fucking heater.
It is.
I love that movie.
So, yeah, like again, like I'm trying to do this like what worked and what didn't, and like it's just like everything is in the what didn't column.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Like there's nothing good about this movie. What I would say is I think like the base idea of 7 personalities that can kind of go down a line and like the soul of a killer can be traced like Identity kind of was toying with can work, was not executed in that way, and really just totally undefined, unclear. The movie's a mess from acting to the fucking choreography to all of the action sequences to the dialogue. It's a total cringe fest. This is 2010 and this is a major motion picture. There is no excuse for this to be this product. Like this should be ways better than it is. It's terrible. It's a sham. I had it as a 3. I am moving that to a 2. This is a 2.
Do you think it's a true like stain on Wes's career, or he was so good that like he's allowed a stinker?
I think he's allowed 1. I mean, like everything else is there anything else that's bad that you can call out?
Maybe Vampire in Brooklyn was
Murphy?
Would be his. But like even like I said, like Shocker's corny, but Shocker's a pretty entertaining movie.
Is this like his Ghosts of Mars?
This is his Ghost of Mars, which is also funny because John Carpenter almost retired on Ghost of Mars, but it was so bad he came back and he did. I think it was The Ward.
That's good.
Which was a good movie.
But that was also 3 years before this came out.
Yeah.
So like that is like if that's like his Scream 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Now what we got to do is do Ghosts of Mars on this show and compare it to this.
I actually would gladly do Ghost of Mars because Ghost of Mars is so bad, but
It can't be this though.
It's not, and that because Ghost of Mars, it has redeeming qualities to it because some of the character developments are so funny in that movie. Like this didn't have that. You'll see.
Is he the worst killer that's ever been in a major motion picture?
This is like I said, this is the worst slasher movie of my generation. Like I said, the 2000s, but like I'm trying to think of the worst. Slenderman I don't classify as a slasher. I can't think of a worse slasher than this movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Do you count like House of the Dead as a slasher? I don't.
House of the Dead's not a slasher.
movie.
House of the Dead's a zombie movie.
Yeah. This is easily the worst slasher of my generation, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did Ghost of Mars, John Carpenter, and then went on to do The Ward 9 years later to end on a much better movie. I actually think The Ward's a very underrated movie.
I like that movie a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's like literally just slightly better than, fucking a barely, telligible movie.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay,
puke.
am I going to watch this or Pink Flamingos? I gave them both a 1. I'm going to watch this, but that doesn't mean this movie's good. Like,
no, in terms of like a movie with an actual budget.
But that's the thing. Like the movies I would put Slenderman under this. I think Slenderman is just a useless pile of garbage. Like Truth or Dare is significantly better than this.
Correct.
Like a whole entire 8 points better.
That's why even though I gave Tarot a 3, Tarot is better than this.
Oh, Tarot's better.
By a margin.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there is redeemable pieces of it.
Yeah.
And Truth or Dare, although also I gave that movie a 3, also has that's better than Tarot and is much better than this.
And then just go to recent. Bye Bye Man. Better than this.
Much better than this.
Fear.com.
Much better than this, yeah.
And those are all movies I legit gave like 3s.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, you're right. Like I said, I think this is the worst the worst slasher of my generation, I would say.
This is also PG-13, right? Or no?
No, I think this was R.
This is R.
This is R?
They don't even take advantage of that, I feel.
Yeah,
at
what
all.
makes this movie R?
Curses, maybe profanity.
Maybe there is blood.
The rape concepts, like it's
definitely some rape.
Some oral.
thrown in there.
Yeah. Matt, did you give your rating? I'm lost, honestly.
Matthew? Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
I actually, more than ever, want to hear his rating.
Give it
It's
to me.
not, honestly, it's not that much different than you guys. So.
No, Matt, come on. Give us the real rating. Don't hide.
No, I swear.
You said you were entertained by this or
No,
something?
entertaining was not the right word. I'll take that back.
Aroused.
Oh, please, no.
Entertain was not the right word. I would say, because I laughed at some of the stupidity of the movie. So I was entertained by the stupidity of it,
Okay.
but I just found some of the stupidity of it laughable.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say it was like entertain was the wrong word to use, so I take that back.
So what was your
But I think 2.
2? Okay.
Everything that you guys said, and it's not good, and I never said it was good.
That's not what I heard from Brian.
I never said it was good. I
said it was the best movie you've ever seen.
No. What's it called? But yeah, no. I think I found some of it funny, but by no means was everything that you guys said was absolutely right. The fact that it was it was an okay concept, and it was not taken advantage of at all. And like you said, also that it was literally supposed to be a big budget and all that, and nothing. I mean, this guy's pretty much a fake Jesse Eisenberg. Like,
This guy tried to steal Damien's hair from the Gooch.
correct,
Yeah,
true.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that it's not a good movie, and
Okay.
that's pretty much
scene-
where I stand on that.
Yeah, that scene that we're watching where where Dunkelman turns into the Ripper,
Yeah.
basically, is so bad. Like, so remarkably terrible.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree.
I also think that I think the fact that they used the Ripper as a name is just really corny.
It is. It's very
Like,
overplayed.
it's very overdone.
There's only one Ripper, and that's Jack.
Jack the Ripper, right? Exactly. Now, granted, that's probably the play that he was using.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's really cheesy. It definitely could come up with a better name.
In
The
terms
killer-
of that, the corniest one it's Bye Bye Man. How fucking corny is that
No,
shit?
Bye, man.
It's the
But
Bye Bye.
for like, the concept's better. Like the killer's name could be like fucking Stinky Dinkman, and it could be better if the story made sense.
Dude, Stinky Dinkman is such a cool
He
name.
just like lays farts in your mouth, pins you down, farts in your mouth.
It would have been a better story. All right, let's just fucking put a bow on this. The Necronomicon. I don't give a shit. So if you throw anyone out there, I will agree.
My soul to take. That's fucking fair. They're so bad. They're all bad. Like,
Yeah.
Is there a good kill? They're all terrible.
I'm gonna give it to the aunt, just because she was in Breaking Bad. That's the sole reason I'm doing it.
Was she on camera though?
No,
But you could
find her dead.
She's dead though, but you could she was off.
She is dead. Like it
Yeah.
counts. That's a kill.
Okay.
But I got nothing. Honestly, they all suck.
Can you even say the Ripper then?
No, because
like
you don't
can't.
technically know if
You
he's
don't-
dead because they never see a body.
Yeah, like we're assuming he's dead. We
Yeah.
really don't 100% know. Oh man, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go the aunt as well. Like
Fuck it. The ant.
it's kind of sad. She was a good character.
She was. All right, the ant. You were a great mother because you weren't just an aunt. You are my mom, as he says in the movie. It's very sweet, touching moment. I feel for her. She's actually probably the only sympathetic character because she was actually a pretty realistic portrayal of someone who adopted her sister's 2 kids and raised them and tried to shelter them from the evils that their father had. So I kind of respect her for that. And honestly, if we were going to put anyone in our Necronomicon this week, I'm glad it's her. She deserved it.
Yeah.
Because no other shithead deserves to be in our Necronomicon.
What about Wes Craven's career?
I can't. Because to be fair, he went on to do Scream a year later.
Yeah.
And that movie is top notch. So, we
This fucking standing ovation. Come
Is
on,
so
dude.
corny.
It's
so
cringy.
goddamn cliche.
all right. I'm just gonna wrap it up because we did People Under the Stairs first, then we did My Soul to Take, and you're like, okay, when are you guys gonna do some heavy hitters? Yeah, we know you did A Nightmare on Elm Street, you did Scream, but there's more, and you're right. So that's why next week we're going back to the Wes Craven, his actual beginning. Wes Craven's first ever film. It's actually a sin we took 260 something episodes to actually review it, but we are doing the original, The Last House on the Left. Wes Craven's beginning, and this was the boom to his career.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
And he did start off with a bang, right? Like that's
his first movie. The advertisement was they would, if you walked into the theater, they gave you a barf bag.
Yeah.
That was how that was like, you know, how like now they just put like Dick Trap popcorn tins and stuff in there, like from Dune. Back then you got barf bags. So
Looking forward to it, dude.
yeah, it should be fun. So with that said, we are the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week where me, Matt, and Brian hold down Mike G and stab and rape him.
Oh.
That's kind of crazy, but that's the kind of film where we'll be reviewing. It's interesting how Wes Craven started there and where he came, where he went to.
And that's where Mike's going to.
Oh my God.
Next week, live
circle.
on film.
We are the final podcast where splatter meets passion. We need more passion. I feel like we haven't had a lot of it lately. For sure. But definitely tune in. Weekly horror movie reviews every Monday. Please check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube. And always, we're open to hearing your recommendations for us. Films to review for the future at thefinalpodcast@yahoo.com. We'll see you next week.
I realized the last passion bump we gave was a woman getting decked in the face by a man.
It was literally. It was. I feel like it was so